would have never guessed that sleeping with your mouth open could cause all of them problems. Hi babes, welcome in or welcome back to my channel. My name is Shamika if you are new here. Today we're going to be talking about 7 free ways to practice self-care. If you like this type of content and you would love to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button, click the bell so you can be notified every time I post, and make sure you leave a comment down below to join the discussion. So the first free thing that you can do to practice self-care is to learn to trust yourself. Now this is something that has to be built over time, just like with learning to trust another person. And it's important that you learn to trust yourself because you don't always want to have to look to other people before making a decision. If you're always having to consult with other people and get the advisement from others before making decisions, you're never going to learn to trust yourself. And it's important to know that with trusting yourself, you are going to make the wrong decision sometimes, but that's okay because that's part of the building process. You have to make the wrong decision, learn from it, and then do better moving forward, and know that you're going to be okay with whichever way the pendulum swings because you trusted your own instincts and you're able to learn from your own mistakes and correct that behavior moving forward. Now, if you are not new to this channel, you know that I am a huge advocate for therapy, and I've been in therapy myself for about 3.5 years on and off. And I say on and off because sometimes I've had to take a break due to scheduling conflicts, but I've also had to take a break just because that's what I chose to do on my own. And while I love therapy and I absolutely adore my therapist, by the way, I have a new therapist, I find that it's important that I do take a break from time to time just so that I can take the tools that I've learned from my therapist and apply them without having to consult her or get her advisement or hear her opinion. Just taking what I've learned and applying it in trial and error. That's the only way that you're going to learn how to trust yourself. You have to do trial and error. And I think it's important to take that break from the therapist and even sometimes to switch it up because it allows you to learn from different people, learn tools from different people, but also, like I said, take that time apart to see, okay, have I really learned what I think I've been learning? It's like when you're in school, you know, you're going through the lesson plan and you're learning all of these things, but you have to have a test to see, did you retain the knowledge? Did you hold on to what we were teaching you? And throughout that test, the teacher isn't there giving you the answers. No, you're completely on your own, and then they grade you at the end. If y'all hear the lawnmowers outside, baby, excuse me. They've been out here all day. They want to do their thing. We're going to let them do their thing. The next thing that I've done to practice self-care is to set boundaries. I am so big on setting boundaries. If something disrupts my peace, if something disrupts my spirit, baby, it has to go. And I take it as far as social media. I'm very particular about who I follow, what content I consume, what I allow myself to ingest, because that in turn reflects me and my energy and the energy that I put out into the world. And it also affects how I feel about myself. Sometimes you can follow some people and you know, they're flaunting and flexing on you, and it just makes you feel bad, like you're not doing enough, like you're not where you're supposed to be. And so I'm very, very specific and particular about setting boundaries for myself, and that goes with the relationships, with friendships, co-workers, everything. I set boundaries because I don't want my energy disrupted. And when my energy is disrupted, I'm the type of person, I'm going to harp on it. It's going to bother my spirit deep down to my core. And so to avoid all that, I'm very specific about who I allow to have access to me, where I go, who I sit on the phone with, how long I sit on the phone with some people. Because you know the saying, you got to take some people in doses. So I probably can't talk to you every week, girl. I probably can't talk to you for 5 hours, sis. But you know, you're going to get a little bit here and there. I'm not going to go MIA, but I have to set boundaries to protect my peace, to protect my energy, and keep me on track and focused on what it is I'm trying to do in my life and my day, because sometimes we can get distracted by not having boundaries, and we'll let somebody come in with their drama or whatever, and that will consume our whole day. I am so guilty of this. And to avoid that, baby, I gotta go. I got my boundaries, and I gotta go. I gotta cut it off because I can't let this consume me. I can't let this distract me. I can't let my day be about this. So having those boundaries is super important. It's going to keep you focused. It's going to keep your energy on what you want your energy to be on. And it's going to help keep you in positive spirits. The next thing that I love to do to practice self-care is to clean and declutter. I don't know about you, girl, but I'm one of them type of people. When my house is a mess, it is a reflection of what's going on in my life and in my mental. I have to have a clean home. I am not a hoarder. I am not someone who holds on to things. I like my house to be spotless, very minimalistic, and because I like to live my life that way. I don't like a bunch of things going on here and there, little fires here and there. I need cleanliness and calmness in my life. So it's very important to me to declutter. If you ever come in my home, or if I ever see my home looking a mess, I'm probably going through it. I'm probably in shambles internally. And to be honest with you all, that's been my reality for like the past 2 or 3 months. Like my home was in shambles, but I wasn't ashamed of it or embarrassed of it. I had went through something real hard and tragic, and I'm still going through it. And so my home was literally a reflection of that. And so once I got to the point where I was ready to get out of that funk and try to move forward as best as I could, step number 1 is cleaning my house. Step number 1 is decluttering my home, washing my clothes, doing my dishes, stocking my fridge, just getting my home life back on track. I am a homebody. I love to be in the house. So having a dysfunctional, messy, dirty home is not gonna work for me. Step 1 is always cleaning up and getting my home together so that I can start to unpack the things that are going on in my personal life. The next thing that I like to do to practice self-care is slowing down. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you ladies, I am actively working on this because this is something that I struggle with. And it's important to me that I practice this because I've come to realize that every time I'm moving too fast, every time I'm in a rush, I always mess something up. Something always goes unchecked, unnoticed, left behind. It just does me no good when I'm in a rush. So I'm actively trying my best to slow down and take things a day at a time, a moment at a time, a second at a time. I'm always in a rush for some reason. I don't know who I'm racing against or what, but I'm just always in a rush. For example, the other day I went to the grocery store, and listen, I pride myself on being able to go to the grocery store and get in there 5 minutes flat. Like I know the entire layout of my grocery store like the back of my hand. I know where everything at. And so I went to the grocery store and I went down the aisle to see if they had these cookies. I'm PMSing, shouldn't be eating the cookies, but I'm PMSing. And so I specifically wanted iced oatmeal cookies. And so the brand that I get, they make several different types of cookies, but they don't always have the iced oatmeal cookies in stock at the store. And so as I'm going down the aisle, I see iced cookies, but I didn't realize that they weren't iced oatmeal cookies. You guys, I grabbed these cookies, put them in my cart along with my other things, went to self-checkout, checked out, and didn't realize that they were not the cookies that I wanted until I got all the way home. I think they were like iced ginger snap cookies or something like that. Something I've never had. And I'm just like, oh my God, Shamika, like this is why you need to slow down. You're always in a rush. It doesn't serve me to rush the way I do and to be such a busybody the way I am. Like, I kid you not, you guys, every day I'm wasting something, dropping something, spilling something, all because I'm always in a rush. So I'm really practicing slowing down, taking my time, being in the moment, and just calming down. Just calm down. It's okay. If the minute passed, the minute passed. Like, just do what you got to do, because what I'm learning is that when I don't slow down and I don't take my time, I still end up taking longer doing something because I have to go back and correct the mistake. So now I have to take these cookies back to the store to return them when I could have just got them right the first time and been done with it. But because I'm rushing, I'm always having to go back and redo something and do it over. And it just takes more time when I could have just took my time with it the first time to begin with. So practice slowing down, ladies. If you're anything like me, it is going to be in your best interest. The next thing I love to do to practice self-care is I love to try new things. I am a creative person to a fault. I mean, ever since I've been a little girl, I tried to do sewing. I tried to make clothes. I do painting. I love to do nails, hair, makeup. Like, I'm just a very artistic, creative person. And so I don't struggle in this area. This is actually, out of all the ones on my list, this is where I thrive because I love trying new things. I'm the type of person, I'll try anything at least once. So this summer, for the first time, I decided to ride a horse. Hated it. Will never. A horse ain't never got to worry about seeing me because I ain't coming. I would never do it again. But I just love being spontaneous and trying new things. And I think that's so important because it helps me discover myself and just unlock new levels and new layers to who I am as an individual and as a woman. It takes me out of my comfort zone and it just helps me learn myself a little bit more. The next thing that I like to do for self-care, ladies, is a social media detox. Now, we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier here, but social media, although it is a great tool and it can be useful, just like with anything, it has its pros and cons. If you consume it too much, it can become a negative thing. And for me, that's something that I've definitely experienced with social media. So having a social media detox is essential for me. I try to take at least one day out the week where I don't really check social media at all. Today is a prime example. Like, I haven't checked social media at all today, and I probably won't look at my phone for real like that until later on tonight. And I just like to do that just to feel disconnected. When it first started to happen, because this wasn't something I did intentionally, I think one day I was just super busy, and then I noticed how disconnected I was from the world, and it felt a little weird. It was like, okay, I don't know what's going on in the world today. I don't watch the news. I'm not on social media. I have no idea what's going on. But over time, I started to welcome it a little bit more, and it kind of felt good to just be out of the loop and be in my own bubble and in my own existence and just worrying about what I got going on and what's in front of me rather than what's going on in the world. And I really started to appreciate it a lot when that Diddy stuff came around. Like, it just was a lot. And then the election, it's just been a lot. So taking at least one day out the week to just decompress, disconnect, and just live my life not connected to what's going on in the outside world has been a game changer. I feel so free and light on those days, and I just kind of enjoy them a little bit more than the days where I am on social media. The last thing that I like to do for self-care is to get enough rest. Now, that's never been an issue for me. I love to sleep, baby. Sleep hates to see me coming. Like, I've been like this my whole life. I'm a sleepy girl. But getting quality rest was my issue. And to fix that, I have recently discovered mouth tape. Now, I'm not sure if you guys have heard about mouth tape. The first time I saw it mentioned was on social media. I believe I saw another influencer talking about it. And she was just saying how when she goes to sleep at night, she puts tape over her mouth and it helps her get better sleep. She was describing some of the symptoms that I have when I wake up. She would be thirsty. Her throat would be dry. She would feel groggy. And even though you're getting 8 hours of sleep, you still wake up feeling like you haven't gotten enough rest. And those are all the things that I have been experiencing, honestly, my whole life. But I think now that I'm getting older, it's starting to hit me more, and I'm starting to realize, like, dang, I slept for 9 hours last night, but I'm still sleepy when I wake up. What's wrong? Or my throat is so dry in the morning, and I'm getting up 3 times throughout the night to go to the bathroom or to drink water because I'm just feeling so dehydrated. So that was the first sign of, like, okay, I'm not getting quality rest, but I didn't do anything about it at that point. It wasn't until I watched Love is Blind and one of the contestants on season 6 was talking about how he uses mouth tape, and he just uses Scotch tape, and he just takes a little 2-inch strip, a vertical strip, and puts it over his mouth. And I was like, I'm going to try that. Like, this is my second time hearing about it. It has to be a sign from God. I'm going to try the mouth tape. I've been using mouth tape for about a week and a half now. Ladies, game changer, okay? When I tell you that mouth tape is a game changer, I've gone from waking up 3 times throughout the night, maybe 4, to none. I don't wake up at all throughout the night anymore. Maybe once if I have to pee. Maybe once. Girl, I don't wake up at all throughout the night. Do you know? I can't tell you guys the last time where I've slept through the whole night and didn't have to get up to use the bathroom or drink some water. This has been a game changer for me, guys. When I tell you I get good rest every night, I don't wake up feeling groggy. I don't wake up feeling like the sleep owed me something, like I ain't get enough of it. I wake up and I'm good. I'm good to start my day. I'm good to get out of bed. I'm good to do whatever it is I need to do for the day. I'm not sluggish and dragging my feet, and my eyes aren't super puffy, and I'm just feeling like, ugh. You know, I don't feel like that. I wake up, I feel refreshed. I feel rejuvenated. I feel ready to take on a day, like I said. So definitely, if you're someone who sleeps with your mouth open, maybe try looking into mouth tape, because when I tell you quality rest, baby, quality rest. I would have never guessed that sleeping with your mouth open could cause all of them problems, but it does. So I'm definitely happy that I discovered that. So those are just a few of the things that I like to do to practice self-care. If you guys have any free things that you like to do to practice self-care, leave it down below in the comment section. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.